How about the Houston Texans making some big-time moves during free agency in the offseason period this year? The Texans have been the talk of the NFL recently, and they made a big-time trade getting four-time Pro Bowl wide receiver from the Buffalo Bills, Stefon Diggs, one of the best receivers in the NFL. The Texans have continuously made shockwaves in the NFL this offseason, and this is the biggest move of them all, trading for Diggs. And I think this was a big win across the board for the Texans organization, and what a job that Nick Caserio has done as a general manager for the Texans. This is a great trade. You're getting one of the best receivers in the NFL, and I think they really did well. The Texans, all they had to give up was a 2025 second-round pick, and then they got Stefon Diggs, plus a 2024 sixth and a 2025 fifth-round pick. So all they had to give up was a second-round pick, and you get Diggs plus two more late-round picks back. And yes, it's only a one-year deal now. Yesterday, the news was announced that they cut off the remaining 3 years and gave him a raise for that 1 year, adding his bonus to this year. So pretty much it's a 1 year, $22.5 million deal to get Stefon Diggs on a rental, and you have to give up a second round pick for that, and you get some additional late round picks as well for compensation. But I think I'm really surprised that all the Texans had to give up was a second round pick. Really surprised that Buffalo took it, and I'm really glad it was able to work out. And I know been hearing some Bills fans have been disappointed with what they got back for Diggs, and also surprised that the trade even happened in the first place. I mean, the Bills wide receiver room is not that great, and the Texans just got the best of the best. And I don't know what Josh Allen's going to be throwing to next year, but this is what you needed for Houston to get that number one, the true number one receiver that CJ Stroud deserves, and that'll make this offense go to a whole nother level with Stefon Diggs as your number one, Nico Collins as your number two, and Tank Dell as your slot and number three receiver. That is an elite trio right there. And people have been talking about how, he complains too much, he has tantrums. And I mean, yeah, he was asking for the ball a little bit last season, but that was just a little issue right there. Overall, he was a great player and great teammate, great guy in Buffalo. Was well loved, was liked by Josh Allen. They were best friends, and I think he's going to be a great fit for this team as well. And we have DeMeco Ryans, who have a great staff, and they're not going to allow that kind of behavior to be over here. You know, who knows what Sean McDermott is doing up there, but I trust DeMeco, and I think this is going to work out really well on a 1 year deal. And if he wants to stay, he'll stay, and I think it can happen if he has a big year, and he should have a big year, because this is going to be extra motivation for Stefon Diggs. Contract year, right? He wants a big one, and the Texans will give it to him if this works out and Houston's able to make a big run, which they're looking to be poised to do that. And I think the trade is good. It's worth it. You get that number one this year and see how it goes on a 1 year, and if you like it, you give him more. That's pretty much what it is, and it's good. Four-time Pro Bowl receiver. He's the only one besides Tyreek Hill to be in the Pro Bowl the last 4 years in a row. Led the league in receptions the past 4 years. He's had over 100 receptions the past couple of years, over 1,000 yards the past 6 seasons. Last year he had 100 catches, over 100 catches, 1,183 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Year before that he had 11 touchdowns on 1,400 yards receiving. So he's been piling it up with Josh Allen, quickly made chemistry, and I think that's what's going to happen with CJ as well. He's been racking up the numbers, and I still think he's a great route runner, great playmaker, can definitely make some people miss in the open field, can bring some great experience, can get you open and be clutch when you need him to. Hopefully that can happen. I know he dropped in the AFC Championship game. He had a drop in the AFC Divisional, he had a big drop, but overall he's been pretty good in his career. And just take a look. I think this is why the Texans have one of the best offenses in the NFL. They have the potential to be the best offense in the NFL, period. The Eagles are the only other team that I think can even compete with this team. When you look at the Eagles, they have Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. And then you look at what we have here. CJ Stroud, who I think is a better quarterback throwing-wise than Jalen Hurts. You have Stefon Diggs, who can compete with A.J. Brown. You have Nico Collins, who is no, not as good as Devontae Smith, but is up there. Saquon is better than Joe Mixon, but Mixon's been able to stay more healthier. So you have that. And then Tank Dell is a better third receiver than whatever they have. And I think Dalton Schultz is better than Dallas Goedert. So it's comparable. And I think the Texans have the best offense in the league. I think they're going to prove it this year. And you're going to see why. Because CJ is going to be ripping it. He's going to be throwing big-time numbers. And this offensive line, if they can be healthy, they have a pretty good offensive line. Dermy Tunsil, a left tackle. You have Kenyon Green, if he can stay healthy, at left guard. Juice Scruggs at center, Shaq Mason at right guard, and Titus Howard at right tackle. That's solid right there. So they can make it happen. Then you have Dameon Pierce as a backup running back, and you have Brevin Jordan as a tight end number 2. So you have the depth as well, which is what you need. And you have a wide receiver number 4, Noah Brown, wide receiver number 5, Robert Woods, and they have Mechie and Hutchinson too. So this is by far the best wide receiver room that you're going to see in the NFL. They have the best receiver group in the NFL. And then you look at the 7-1-3 connection across the board. CJ is 7, Diggs is 1, and Tank is 3. Diggs was able to get number 1 from Jimmy Ward, had to pay $100,000 to get that number. And it might be worth it because the Texans are going to do a whole lot of marketing with this 7-1-3 combination that you got going on. The 7-1-3 offense, which is what I like to call them, they're going to cook. And I really like what I'm seeing. The Texans are a competitive team. They're one of the best teams in the league right now, on paper at least. Best team in Texas too, over the Cowboys. And once they got Diggs, that comparison was going to be made because of how good this offense looks right now. And you have a great schedule. You're playing the Bills here in Houston. That's going to be a fun game. Stefon Diggs revenge game. And then you have the Cowboys game, which is going to be even better because the Texans and Cowboys are both pretty good teams. And you have Stefon Diggs going against his brother, Trayvon Diggs, brother versus brother, Houston versus Dallas. It's nothing gets better than that. Hopefully, that's a Thanksgiving game right there. And man, CJ was such a great receiver, had the greatest rookie season by quarterback ever. And now you have Diggs to throw through. You have Collins, you have Tank, you have Noah Brown, Robert Woods, Mixon, Schultz, Jordan, Pierce. It's gonna work. And I'm excited. It's a 1-year deal. I know people may not be too happy about that, giving up a second-round pick, but I think it's worth it. You're trying to go all in this year. You have the chance to do it. And the Chiefs, they lost Snead in the offseason. They lost Valdez-Scantling. They got Hollywood Brown, but you're betting on this Texans team to try and make something happen this year. And I love the job that Nick Caserio did. You're able to re-sign Kemi Fairbairn, re-sign Schultz, get Joe Mixon on a deal. You're able to get Stefon Diggs on a deal, and then on defense, you're able to get Daniel Hunter, Danico Autry, Azeez O'Shire, some cornerback depth as well. I really like where this is all heading, and really excited for Texans fans. So, Diggs trade, big dub. So, let me guys know what you think of the Diggs trade. Comment in the comment section. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe to my channel for all your Houston content. And I will see you in the next one.